After what is often referred to as the Last Supper, Jesus asked his apostles to follow him through the night to a quiet garden named Gethsemane. Despite their master asking them to stay awake with him, the exhausted disciples fell asleep. Alone, Jesus began to pray and was soon overcome with incomprehensible agony, causing him to bleed from every pore. There, in the garden, he began the process of taking upon himself the sins and pains of the world. O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
This was the beginning of an act of sacrifice that would reach its conclusion the next day on the cross at Golgotha. After a series of one-sided trials, Jesus Christ was sentenced to death by crucifixion. Roman soldiers mocked and scourged him and nailed him to the cross. But instead of condemning them, Jesus Christ asked his Father to forgive them, for they know not what they do. Even in his darkest moment, Jesus spoke of love and redemption. With his dying breath, Jesus addressed his Father. "It is finished," he said. An unlikely testimony came from a Roman centurion and those who were with him. Truly, this was the Son of God. The realization is just as awe-inspiring today as it was then.
It's hard to imagine the anguish Jesus Christ's followers must have felt on the day after his death. The night before, his body had been lovingly prepared and placed in a garden tomb. Now they were left to figure out how life could possibly go on without him. Almost certainly his death had taken something from them, but what they had lost was nothing compared to all that his life had given. Whether they understood it or not, Jesus Christ had forged a new path forward for all who would follow him, one lit by a hope that shines brighter than any darkness we may encounter.
Early in the morning, Mary Magdalene, a friend and follower of Jesus Christ, came to the tomb to care for his body. To her astonishment, she found the tomb empty. Later, as she wept outside the tomb, a man addressed her, the gardener, she supposed. But then he said her name, Mary, and she saw. It was Jesus Christ alive again. The knowledge was too wonderful to contain, and she ran to tell the others.
As Jesus promised his disciples in John chapter 10, verses 14 through 16, I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
The resurrected Savior visited these other sheep as recorded in 3 Nephi 11, 1 through 17. And now it came to pass that there were a great multitude gathered together of the people of Nephi round about the temple which was in the land Bountiful, and they were marveling and wondering one with another, and were showing one to another the great and marvelous change which had taken place. And they were also conversing about this Jesus Christ, of whom the sign had been given concerning his death. And it came to pass that while they were thus conversing one with another, they heard a voice as if it came out of heaven, and they cast their eyes round about, for they understood not the voice which they heard. And it was not a harsh voice, neither was it a loud voice. Nevertheless, and notwithstanding, it being a small voice, it did pierce them that did hear to the center, insomuch that there was no part of their frame that did not cause to quake. Yea, it did pierce them to the very soul, and did cause their hearts to burn. And it came to pass that again they heard the voice, and they understood it not. And again, the third time, they did hear the voice, and did open their ears to hear it, and their eyes were towards the sound thereof, and they did look steadfastly toward heaven, from whence the sound came. And behold, the third time they did understand the voice which they heard, and it said unto them,
Behold, my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased, in whom I have glorified my name, hear ye him. And it came to pass, as they understood, they cast their eyes up again towards heaven. And behold, they saw a man descending out of heaven, and he was clothed in a white robe. And he came down and stood in the midst of them. And the eyes of the whole multitude were turned upon him, and they durst not open their mouths, even one to another, and wist not what it meant, for they thought it was an angel that had appeared unto them. And it came to pass that he stretched forth his hand, and spake unto the people, saying,
Behold, I am Jesus Christ, whom the prophets testified shall come into the world. And behold, I am the light and the life of the world. And I have drunk out of that bitter cup which the Father had given me, and have glorified the Father in taking upon me the sins of the world, in which I have suffered the will of the Father in all things from the beginning.
And it came to pass that when Jesus had spoken these words, the whole multitude fell to the earth. For they remembered that it had been prophesied among them that Christ should show himself unto them after his ascension into heaven. And it came to pass, the Lord spake unto them, saying, Arise, and come forth unto me, that ye may thrust your hands into my side, and also that ye may feel the prints of the nails in my hands, and in my feet, that ye may know that I am the God of Israel, and the God of the whole earth, and have been slain for the sins of the world. And it came to pass that the multitude went forth and thrust their hands into his side, and did feel the prints of the nails in his hands and in his feet. And this they did do, going forth one by one, until they had all gone forth, and did see with their eyes, and did feel with their hands, and did know of a surety, and did bear record that it was he of whom it was written by the prophets that should come.
And when they had all gone forth, and had witnessed for themselves, they did cry out with one accord, saying, Hosanna! Blessed be the name of the Most High God. And they did fall down at the feet of Jesus, and did worship him.
These testimonies of the resurrected Savior 2 millennia ago are still just as magnificent today. You can know, just as Mary Magdalene, Jesus' disciples, and the people of the Americas did, that Jesus Christ lives. Because of him, everyone will live again. If we follow Christ, we can find true happiness on earth and look forward to eternal joy in the life to come.
He lives to bring me